Hello and welcome to the Trial On podcast. Again, we are remote. I just got back from Byron Bay, so we're going to have to do it this way today. We will also be dropping our preview episode on Wednesdays from now on. Give you some time to watch it before the game. Give you some tips on who to go, although I wouldn't take my tips because I think I went 5 of 8 on the weekend. I'm your host, Bo. This is my co-host, Denny.
Hey mate, how are you?
How'd you go on the weekend?
Tipping?
Yeah, tipping.
Yeah, not good. Not good. It selected all the home teams for the first four games, I think. So
The away teams.
yeah, the away teams. Sorry, yeah, all the away teams. So no good there, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you go on the punt? Anything?
No, nothing. Because I only have $100 betting limit
Oh yeah.
each week, so I chucked on all 100 for Campbell Graham to go over, but
No good.
no luck. Yeah, no
All right.
luck,
So we're going to be previewing the games on this one. Good round of footy. Good round. Round one. I think they averaged 38 points across all the games, so that's good. The Cowboys added 0 to that, but I got thoughts on the Cowboys. We put it out to our Instagram followers yesterday. Any questions? Anything you want us to cover? We'll come back on that end.
We got a fair few questions, but we're not going to answer them all because it'll just take way too long. So we got a question from Jacko_2212, and his question is thoughts on Suaalii, and if he was still at the South, would he get a chance to play?
Thoughts on Suaalii? I don't think he would get to play if he was at South. I think the Roosters' influence had a big part to play in all that. The NRL said they did canvass opinions from the Roosters, Suaalii school, that's Kings in Parramatta, Suaalii's mentor, which is Joey Manu, and they said they took a range of precautions and before they let him in the NRL.
Yep.
I don't have a problem with him playing. That's my personal opinion. I think if you're old enough, you're good enough. So I don't care what age you are. If you're old enough to play, then you're old enough to play, in my opinion. But I have a problem with the rule. Don't have the rule. That's what I think. If you're going to let people play, why have the rule in the first place? Why have the rule if you can create exemptions? So scrap the rule. That's my issue. I think you should be able to play, but I just don't understand why can't any 17-year-old that's in a system right now, why can't they say, well, I want to play now?
Yeah. Fair. That's fair.
What do you think?
I don't like that they've given him an exemption. I don't know. I don't think he'd get a run at South either. I think South they've got good strong outside backs. It'd be hard to crack it. I don't know if he'll even make the squad for the Roosters, would he?
I don't know, but I think his point was, would he even get an exemption if he was at South?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but did he get an exemption because he's at the Roosters because of the Roosters' influence in the NRL? Which I think that's true. I don't think he gets an exemption if he's at South.
Yeah.
And maybe that was one of the bargaining things to get him to the Roosters to say, well, we'll be able to get you to play early. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Does he make the side? I don't know. The raps on him are unbelievable. If he's half as good as what people think he is, he'll be outstanding. I hope he goes well. I wish him nothing but the best. If he does find his way into the side, he'll be coming into my dream team because he'll be worth nothing. Cheapy. But yeah, that's our thoughts on that. No, I don't think he would get the exemption if he was at South personally.
Yeah, no, me neither. Anyway, on to our next question from Jacob_Harvey839. His question was, who was the best performer of round one? And I think we've gone for a team.
Yeah, we've done teams. You want to go first?
We did a team. Yeah, I reckon the Storm. Storm were the best performer for me. They've come up against a really strong Bunnies outfit.
Yeah.
And I think they looked good for the full 80. Like without Cam Smith, they lost him over the off-season. Probably the best player ever. Yeah. And they didn't have Harry Grant either. So I'll be keen to see how they go once they get him back.
They just keep coming, don't they? They lose Cooper. People say they're gone. They make the grand final. They lose Billy. People say they're gone. They win another grand final. Now they lose Cam Smith, and they just come out and beat one of the favourites to win this year's grand final, round one. So good on them. They keep their round one record intact there. I couldn't go past the Roosters. I thought the Roosters were really strong, and James Tedesco showed everyone why I think he's the best player in the world. But I copped out. I went the Warriors as well. The Warriors really impressed me, especially their four pack. We'll get into that when we talk about the game. But I thought Adam Fanua-Blake was outstanding on the weekend.
Yeah, I just couldn't give my performance of the round to the Roosters just because Manly were under strength.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. I just think the Roosters they're like a fine wine. They just keep getting better.
Yeah, and then
Although
they're
I hate
still
wine.
missing Boyd Cordner. Boyd
Yeah.
Cordner's yet to come back.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a question from Jaden Griffio. His name is actually Jaden Griffin. He sent us a couple of cracker questions so far, so good on you, mate.
Mate.
And he says, because Josh Piley got sin binned, should the sin binning carry over to the next game, to the start of the next game? So if you get sin bin late in the piece, like last few minutes, should the rest of the minutes carry on to the start of the next game?
Honestly,
And what are your thoughts on that?
I think this is outstanding. I might cop some backlash for this, but I think this would be, and I'm against changing the rules all the time. This would be a great rule change because the amount of people that give away penalties late in the game because it doesn't matter to them. You know what I mean? Like they slow down to play the ball, they get their line set, they lay on the ruck, whatever. If you're sending them to the bin and then they're without that player for 6-7 minutes to start the game the following week, that's a huge disadvantage.
Yeah.
So,
and it would definitely 100% stop people from doing that.
Yeah, well, imagine if Josh Papali'i was out for the first 9 minutes of next week.
8-9 minutes. Yeah,
That would be
big.
huge for the Raiders. So that's a great suggestion. I love it.
Well, you're down a man as well. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah,
you're down a man. There'll be an overlap somewhere.
and the game, especially now, is so much about momentum. I feel like teams are scoring tries in bunches more than we've ever seen, and it's because it's hard to get that momentum back when you lose it. So if you're down 12 men at the start of the game and some team runs in 2 tries, that could be game over almost.
Yeah.
So great suggestion. I think it would cut that out.
Yeah, definitely. Next question by the Big Budgie Man.
Big Budgie
what do you
Man.
think? Yeah, what do you think about Pappenhausen being better than Billy Slater?
Well, in my opinion, Billy Slater is the best fullback to ever play, and I think Tedesco is better than Pappy. So
yeah,
I don't think he's there yet. But Ryan Pappenhausen's only young. He's got a long.
you
He can have a
you
long
got to
career.
think about it. It's only his second season.
Yeah.
So I mean, he has the potential to maybe.
Yeah.
But as of right now, no.
No, but he's very good, Pappenhausen. Let's not sleep on that. He was electric the other night. But Billy done it for so long, so much longevity, and even when he got injured and he come back, I think he sit for a year or he played a few games in 2 years or something, come back and was still dominant as. So Billy's the number one ever. And then Pappy's very good, but he's not there yet, obviously.
No. There's another question actually from Haas Blake. He wants us to talk about Parramatta for 10 minutes. So
I'll pass on that.
Yeah, no, I'm a Paris supporter. I'll also pass on that.
No, you'll do your own one. You'll do a 3-week podcast, just Parramatta.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you do it yourself.
I'll think about it.
Then he knows Parramatta.
I wouldn't say that. Anyway, that's all the questions for this week. But I think we'll probably make this a weekly thing. Maybe just put on our Instagram.
That's good.
DM us some questions or whatever.
So that's what we like to do, guys. Like, it's the podcast is for you, so we want to talk about what you guys want to listen to. So, before every podcast, we always put up if anything you want us to talk about. We don't always get to all of them because we have other things we have to get to on the show, but we always try and get to a few. So always message us and we'll try. Let's do some games.
Hold on. Before we get into games, we got our fantasy league.
All right.
So we got 5 going. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And we're just going to go through our top performers for each league. Right. So, starting with Tryline Fantasy, we got the Gutharinas at $8.95. The Tryline League, the Gutharinas, classic name. Yeah. Tryline League, I don't lose, $9.29. Tryline Competition, RNGD, Gibbs Heroes, $9.53.
Nice.
Tryline Championship, Hickson 116, $9.65. And for the big boy, the winner of the week, the highest score in all our leagues, we got Pharaoh the Wizard Viking with 977.
That's
so good on you, mate.
Well. I think I got 850. I beat everyone apart from one person in one league. I can't remember who that was, but did I beat you? I can't remember. Yeah, no, I carved you up. Yeah,
anyway, right. Thursday, Storm defeats Souths 26-18. What are your thoughts on the game?
We said it already about the Storm. I thought they started ultra fast. They looked just fit. Picked up right where they left off. You wouldn't even notice Cam Smith was missing. I thought Brandon Smith played very well.
Mm-hmm.
As for South, we spoke about it all last year. I don't know. We've got a lot of new viewers on the podcast, but we said pretty much all last year, if South complete over 80%, they're winning the game. Like if they hold the ball, they've got enough points in them to beat anyone. They completed at 63% on the weekend. They had 16 errors. But apart from that, I thought they looked really crisp in attack. When they were in good ball, I thought they were walking over the try line. So they've definitely got the points in them. They just got to hold the ball. I thought Jai Arrow was excellent off the bench.
Oh,
I would keep that. I thought he was really good off the bench. He only played 45 minutes. He had 17 hit ups for 176 meters off the bench.
Jesus.
Outstanding. Yeah, but the Rabbitohs need to hold the ball. Storm, they'll be thereabouts at the end of the year again.
Yeah. Well, Souths again, as you said, they were their own worst enemy. Storm, on the other hand, looked really, really good. I had them sixth?
Yeah,
Sixth or fifth at the end of the year. I
I think
might
you had them fifth.
have to
Yeah.
reevaluate. But yeah, Storm. As I said before, they're missing Harry Grant. They're yet to get him back, so I'm really excited to see how they go. And I'll get into the 3-2-1s of the game actually. So 1 point goes to Latrell, 2 to Christian Welsh, and 3 to Ryan Pappenhausen.
I thought Latrell looked really good, and he looked motivated, which is a big thing for Latrell. He was in the game, and even though they conceded some tries early, that never wavered. He was always in that game, and he was 100% effort the whole time. That's really good signs for the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, really good. Anyway, on to Friday night. We got the Knights defeated the Bulldogs 32-16. Really, we all kind of saw this coming. Knights just too good at the end. I did think Kyle Flanagan had a good game. He played really well, looked good. I think he might be in for a big year this year, I reckon.
I thought their forwards let them down a little bit, the Bulldogs, but they did come up against a good pack in the Knights. The Knights forward pack controlled the game, in my opinion. They ran for 350 odd more meters. And in the wet, that's what it's all about. It's just a forwards game, keeping it around the middle. So that's what got them over the line. The Knights' injuries are going to be their biggest enemy this year. If they can stay healthy, Kurt Mann and Bradman Best both went down in that game. So hopefully they're all right. All I've got written here is Connor Watson is different, full stop. Does he not look like a beast or what?
No, I sent you a message. As soon as he was coming off the bench, I sent you a message and said, Connor Watson looks jacked.
Jesus.
He looks like something else. He looks like he's put on like 10 kilos over the off season.
I thought he was
muscle.
I thought he was very good too. They got a really good side. The Bulldogs in good ball, they looked all right, but just getting down the other end of the field. Hopefully, Luke Thompson can bring that to that team. But I thought I thought their forwards were poor. Daniel Saifiti was outstanding as well.
Yeah, well, both the Newcastle props were really
Clemmer.
Good. Yeah, maybe arguably one of the better
Duos,
front rower duos. Yeah, I was going to say
definitely.
Well, speaking about Clemmer and Saifiti, they're both in the 3-2-1s. We'll get into that. 1 point goes to Jaden Brayley, 2 to Clemmer, and 3 to Saifiti. I guess with that double.
That's your middle three right there. That's what controlled the game. That's what won them the game.
Yeah, exactly. Righty, on to the Broncos versus the Eels. Eels beat them 24-16. Broncos had a really, really good first half. I think Para had an equally bad first half. Maybe in the second half, the Eels did come back, maybe because the Broncos were running out of subs. They did have 3 injuries that game, so they had one fresh player on the bench.
I thought the Eels' first half was terrible. I thought they wanted to attack before they earned the right to attack. In my opinion, they were going wide way too early. They were hitting both their back rowers off short balls, like without trying to go through the middle first. But when they worked that out, but like you said, the Broncos did get tired. But when the Eels worked out to go through the middle through Junior Paulo and Reid Marnie, and then Papali'i, I thought he was great, and he was punching holes through the middle, and then it opened the game up a little bit more for him. A positive for the Eels is they probably played one of the worst half footballs they've played in a while in the first half, and they were still in the game, and they managed to get over him in the end, win a game that they should have won. Broncos, a lot of good signs there. I thought Milford looked very good. Matt Lodge going down hurt him early. I think he's
Yeah.
a really good player. He's just got to stay healthy. The Broncos will win more games than what they did last year, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure. You could definitely see there was a lot more effort there.
Yeah.
Maybe more effort played in that one game than they showed all last season, maybe.
Yeah, and I got it written here too. This week they play the Titans, I think. Massive danger game for the Titans, in my opinion. The
Yeah,
Titans don't want to
huge.
fall to 0-2. Like, and
No,
yeah,
especially with all the big names that they've just brought
yeah,
in. So big game next week.
yeah,
Anyway, with the 3-2-1s for that game, we got 1 point goes to Milford, as you said, looked really good.
yep.
2 points Reed Marnie and 3 points to Junior Paulo.
Who looked just so fit, scary how
He
fit he
looked
looked.
good.
Yeah,
I think he was saying he was playing at 115 or something. And he was saying like last year he was playing at 122, between like 122, 130, something like that.
he looked fit
So
and
yeah,
destructive. He's
he,
scary, Junior Paulo.
he looked real good. Anyway, on to of the Titans versus Broncos next week. We got the Titans game this week. They were beaten by the Warriors 19 points to 6. I think the Warriors did look really good this one.
Yep.
I think the Titans have the potential to be in the mix. And as I said last week, I think it's going to take a couple of weeks for them to find their feet.
Yeah, you
Before they
did
can
mention
kind of
that. I'm
before they
thinking
can
the
make a
Warriors.
move.
The Warriors forward pack looked very good in this game, although Bailey Sirenen adds a bit of a dynamic play to that edge. And then
Yeah.
Philip Blake adds a lot to the middle of the field. Ran for over 200 meters on the weekend, so that's awesome for them. To me, the Titans looked a bit unorganized in attack, but I put that down to maybe some new faces, and they got to take a
Yeah.
little bit of time to get used to that. But they just looked like they didn't know what they were doing in good ball. Hopefully that comes. Like I said, they really don't want to fall to 0-2. I think that's not a good sign for them. The
Yeah.
Warriors, a lot of effort. I just hope they can be consistent this year. If they can be consistent, they've got a good enough side. Peter Hiku in defense, I thought was really good too.
Yeah. Well, with you saying they looked a little bit lost there, the Titans, in some of the end of sets or something like that, whatever. Maybe it could have been due to the heat as well. It was
Oh
quite a
yeah,
hot day.
yeah,
They were
yeah,
having the 20-minute break in the first half.
yeah,
But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if they can kind of find their form.
yep.
Anyway, with the 3-2-1s, we got RTS with 1 point, Adam Fanua Blake with 2, and Cody Nicarima with 3 points.
I think we spoke about this on the preview show way ages ago that anytime the Warriors win, RTS is going to be somewhere in the points.
Yeah.
He's just the leader
100%.
of that side.
Yeah. Anyway, on to Roosters versus Manly. Roosters demolished Manly 46-4. Manly did start the game. They were looking, they're looking pretty good. They were in the arm wrestle for about 10 or so minutes. And then floodgates just opened, I guess. The Roosters just found their footing and went on with it.
Yeah, well, this is the one game I didn't watch. I was on husband duty in Byron. I couldn't watch the footy the whole time up there. But from what I saw of the game, 4-4 until about the 20-minute mark or something, and then Roosters ran in 42 unanswered points. All on the back of James Tedesco. And some of those early tries too were just really poor signs for Manly. Like
soft,
but even after the last pass, like Brett Morris, James Tedesco, they still had a lot of work to do. And they were beating 2, 3, 4 defenders sometimes. Like from 10 meters out. Like, you got to be better than that round one, especially early. But I don't know. They got some work to do, Manly. Tom Trbojevic, it just takes this team to another level, though, when he gives everyone around him confidence. So I won't write Manly off until I see a team with Tom Trbojevic in it. But they got work to do.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, the 3-2-1s. Tedesco with the 1 point. Maybe, I don't know,
should have taken 3.
Yeah, could have taken 3 easily.
Yeah.
Lindsay Collins gets the 2 points. So good on him. I think
Hard
it's I think this year he actually started instead of Chadwell Hargraves.
Good on him.
So yeah, good on him. And 3 points goes to Brett Morris.
Yeah.
So I think he scored a hat trick.
And so did Teddy, I think. Teddy scored a hat trick as well.
They both scored a hat trick.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, so I would have given it the 3 to Teddy, but Brett Morris, great player, great winger for the Roosters.
Definitely. On to the Cowboys versus the Panthers. The Panthers beat them 24-0. Look, I mean, it was 24-0, but it looked good at halftime. Like the Cowboys' defense, especially the goal line defense in the first half, really held up. It was only 6-0 at halftime. But yeah.
So we sat here and talked about, both of us didn't expect the Cowboys to win this game, obviously. We just wanted to see some effort. And I guess you could say we did, but their attack was good last year, I thought. Their defense was an issue. They look like they've fixed parts of their defense, but their attack's gone backwards. Their attack was shocking. And I'll tell you why it was shocking, because we had no go forward. Had zero go forward. And this is why we had no go forward. Tamalolo, would you say he's one of the best forwards in the last decade, if not the best?
Yeah, I'd go the best. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here's what Todd Payton had to say after the game, because they've got a plan to not play him as many minutes, obviously.
Yeah.
He said Jace is contracted here for 7 years, and if we cook him 65 to 70 minutes a game in 3 or 4 years, what value are we going to get out of him? This is a long-term decision about Jace's health and my ambition to hold on to the job. And then here are his stats from round one. Like, and that last comment I didn't like at all. My ambition to hold on to the job. I didn't like that. These are his stats from round one. Probably the best forward in the last decade. He had one tackle bust, 6 hit ups, 1 offload, 73 meters, and 23 tackles. They're paying him $1 million.
Yeah.
Like he can't sit on the bench. You know what I mean?
Look,
I
know where you're coming from. What I don't like, I can understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Like he wants to keep him in the game,
Preserve him
for as long. Yeah, exactly. Yep. But he's the best forward in the league, playing a certain way, and playing 60 minutes a game.
Yep.
Like, 100%. Why would you try and change? Why are you trying to change?
And where he adds value, we pay him $1 million because he's one of the most damaging ball runners in the game right now. Right? If you're going to leave him on the bench, and the game was gone by the time he got on, what's he meant to do? What's he meant to? He's not going to come on and swing the game for you like that. It was doing me head in seeing him sit there, and I like Todd Payton as a coach, but he called him out after the game. He called him out for being sloppy, getting back on a kick return when they put up the bomb, and then I think Liam Martin got the offload for, I can't remember who scored, but he got called out for that. Yeah, Zayo scored, and Jason Tublo got called out publicly after round one for that, saying that doesn't set a standard for everyone else. I think he's got to be very careful with how he's talked about probably the most influential player at that club right now.
I mean, maybe he might just be trying to light a fire.
Well, light a fire on him so he can sit on the bench.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, he's gonna be like fuming, but he's gonna be on the bench fuming. Like, that's not what we need. Anyway, I didn't like it, and I didn't like the wording. I didn't like how he said this is a long-term decision about Jace's health. That's good, and my ambition to hold on to the job. Well, that's not what it's about, is it?
Yeah.
It's about you trying to win games for the Cowboys and bring success to that club. So I didn't like that. I feel like the Cowboys' attack went backwards, but that's because of no go forward. Again, it's round one. Hopefully they can be a little bit better next week. That's rant over.
Yeah. Okay. No. Well, the Penrith did look good anyway. Just a quick thing on Penrith. They did have all 3 players in the 3-2-1s. Dylan Edwards 1 point, Cleary with 2, and James Fisher-Harris with 3 points.
Who was outstanding?
Yeah,
James Fisher-Harris. Yeah,
he's unbelievable how good he is.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Raiders beat the Tigers. These are the Sunday games, right? The Raiders beat Tigers 30 points to 12. Same Raiders as last year, I think. Coming out in the first half, it was a pretty close game. It was 6-6.
Yeah.
And then the second half, the Raiders come out, score 4 tries to 1. Good old Raiders we know and love.
If you go look at the stats for this game, it was very close. The stats were very close, but it could have gone either way. But the Raiders probably had more class than the Warriors. Not the Warriors. Raiders probably had more class than the Tigers. In good ball, and that's what it come down to. I thought George Williams was very good. They had a couple of tries denied as well, didn't they, the Raiders? So it could have got a little bit more out of hand there. I didn't think the Tigers were bad. I thought they were right. And if you go look at the stats, they were right in the game where they needed to be in the game. Again, just lacked a little bit of polish. I just hope they don't change the team. Now, there's some rumors going around that Mbai might be dropped for this week, might be back to the bench. I just hope that doesn't happen because this happened last year. I just feel like they should stick with this team, show some faith, and trust this team to get it done. If you can look at them all off season and get to round one and say, all right, this is my 17, How can that change in a week? That's why
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
like it.
right.
So leave
Yeah.
this team.
What was that?
Leave this team. I'd say I'd leave the Tigers how they are.
Yeah, 100%. I was like, what? Leave them? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought George Williams had a really good game. Looks really good. He was actually in the 3-2-1s, actually, believe it or not. 1 point Rapana, 2 points George Williams, and 3 points to Hudson Young. I thought he played really well.
Yeah, good.
And on to the last game of the round. We got the Sharkies beating the Dragons 32 points to 18. Sharks looked over for all money, and then I think the Dragons did a good job of kind of
Getting back in the game.
Getting back in the game.
Sure.
So not all bad news for Dragons fans.
No. I thought they were very gutsy. I thought they got back into the game a few times. They looked gone a few times and they kept coming back. Did you see the try that got disallowed? It was probably the most controversial one. The Dragons were coming to get him. The Cody Ramsey try when he hurt his ankle.
No, I didn't see that one.
All right, for the record, I don't think it was a try. Where I have a problem with it is I don't know how it wasn't Dragons' ball. I thought the Sharks lost the ball into Jack Bird, who then knocked the ball on. So I don't think it was a try, but I think it should have been the Dragons' ball anyway. And then that just seemed to deflate them after that. And then I think Dufty dropped a couple of bombs in a row, and the Sharks just ran away with it. The Sharks looked okay. We spoke about it before. The next 9 weeks will decide the Sharks season, really. They've got all the top 8 teams in the next 9 weeks. So good luck to them. The Dragons, they were okay. They were all right. They weren't the worst team on the weekend, that's for sure. I feel like the Cowboys were probably the worst.
Manly?
Yeah, but Manly played the Roosters. Oh, yeah, then Cowboys played the Panthers. Yeah, fair enough. All right. All right. I'll shirk the Cowboys. I'll stop.
Okay. Anyway, not good news for Sharkies fans either. So there was actually a high tackle in this game from Jesse Ramian. A careless high tackle, I think it was called. Yeah, it was really bad. Yeah. He's set to miss 3 weeks.
Fair?
Yeah, fair.
I'll say fair.
It was bad. It was a bad shot.
I thought it was terrible. I thought we would have got a lot more traction out of that if someone like Joey Leilua had done that. Would have probably been all over the news. But anyway,
double 6 weeks for that.
6 weeks. I thought it was pretty bad. But anyway, we'll be back Wednesday. We'll drop Wednesday night. We'll drop the preview. Hopefully, we can go 8 from 8 this week and build a little bit of a kitty, because the kitty is empty after Byron. But thanks for that, guys. Let me know if you went 8 from 8, because I know I didn't. And we'll leave the link tree in the bio to every one of our social media platforms. And we'll see you Wednesday. Have a good one.